Hey guys, Matty Miller, Pursuit Real Estate. Hope you guys are doing well today. And we're going to do a little bit of a first-time buyer crash course. I feel like a lot of first-time buyers have kind of been sitting on the sidelines. And as we've now seen interest rates decrease for about 6 weeks in a row, we are entering a much more balanced market with more inventory. And if you're a first-time buyer thinking about making that investment, we're going to talk about a few things that you need to do and kind of give you a crash course on how to approach things. All right, guys, so today we are kind of diving into the complexities of the Jacksonville real estate market, specifically if you were a first-time buyer. And why we're doing a specific first-time buyer video is because there's a lot of things that a first-time buyer is not going to know. If you've bought a house before, you obviously are pretty well versed in some buyers. Some people will buy 5, 6, 7 houses in their lifetime. They've done it multiple times and they understand things because there's a lot of moving parts in this business. So kind of the first thing that we got to understand is financing. I mean, that's where everything's going to start is how are you going to finance it? Most first-time buyers are not spending cash, so that's not a thing. There's a whole bunch of different types of loan types, from FHA to conventional to VA to, we don't see very many of these, but FDA as well. So we see a lot of different types of loans, but in our market, it's typically FHA, VA, conventional. Those are your typical loan types. And understanding those loan types with the debt to income ratios, where your credit score stands, that all kind of dictates into what we talk about when we talk about rates, okay? And rates are going to determine your monthly payment. So all of those things combined are kind of where you have to start. So my advice is to, number one, get with an agent. Get with an agent who you trust, who you like, who fits your personality for the most part. Maybe it was somebody that's referred to you. Maybe it's a family friend. Maybe it's not. I kind of try to avoid the family side of things when it comes to that, as there are a lot of emotional highs and lows of a real estate deal. So if you're working someone who's a close friend of yours, keep in mind that can kind of get a little dicey sometimes, because there is, like I said, there's some emotional highs and lows of this. There's a lot of moving parts. It's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make in your entire life, mostly for most people. So all those things, get with an agent. He or she probably has a go-to lender. And at that point in time, you want to get with a lender, see what you can afford, and then we're going to kind of start that home search. So get with an agent, start the home search, get with a lender, and go from there. Then I think the other thing too, a lot of first-time buyers struggle with is understanding the neighborhood. So Jacksonville's market's very nuanced in the fact that we have a lot of different types of neighborhoods that are different in their price points. They're different in their amenities. Do you have kids? What's important to you? Is it schools? So we want to really dive into what's important to the client as far as what they're looking to accomplish by buying a home, and ultimately looking forward in the future is, hey, when the kids are older, or if you don't plan on having kids, are you going to be okay with this? Or, what your situation is. We have to understand what the future is going to look like as well, because that's going to dictate, while there may be a great deal right now, it might not be a perfect place for you in 5 to 7 years. Who knows? Ultimately, the goal is we want to buy something now that works for the next 5 to 7 years. And that way it's not a short-term situation, because we don't know what the market's going to be. But if you are using a mortgage, the beauty of the 30-year mortgages, if you stay somewhere for a long time, you typically have a pretty good savings account and a lot of equity build up. So anyway, that being said, if you're a first-time buyer and you don't know where to start, give us a call, Pursuit Real Estate. My name is Matty Miller with Pursuit Real Estate, of course. My phone number is right behind me. I love working with first-time buyers and going through the whole process and explaining what all this stuff means. And it can seem overwhelming as well. So I am going to try to do a quick write-up for you guys as well that we'll post to the website that has all of this information as far as the steps of what it is to buy a home, kind of in a nutshell. Then what are all those steps? So if you guys have any questions, or you want to start somewhere, or you know someone that can use my help, give me a call. Matty Miller with Pursuit Real Estate. We'll talk soon. Take care.